My record was 126 hours in 1 week.
Jesus Christ.
I burnt out twice in my career. That's what brought me to Thailand, my first burnout. Back then I was cooking for awards, I was cooking for accolades, I was cooking for recognition, I was cooking for Michelin star inspectors. Burnout came, okay, I need to reevaluate my life decisions, where I'm going, what I'm doing, why am I cooking this fancy Michelin star food? So I went off to Thailand.
How you doing, folks? Pete here from Thairish Times. What's the story? I hope you're keeping well. So this week I met up with Jamie, who was back in Ireland from Thailand to visit his family. Jamie's now back over in Thailand. Jamie's a classically trained chef. He's worked in the best Michelin star restaurants in the world. He trained with Gordon Ramsay. And in this video, Jamie's going to talk about how burnout led to him reevaluating his life and making the move over to Thailand. And then he's going to talk about what he's doing over in Thailand now, which is all interesting stuff. And just before we start the video, folks, only about 5% of the subscribers on the channel are Irish. So let me know if you think myself and Jamie have the same accent. Let me know how good your ear is. Leave a comment in the comment section down below and let me know. Right, let's get straight into it. Jamie.
Hey, cheers. Sláinte.
Sláinte, buddy.
Welcome home.
Thanks very much. You too.
Good to be home.
Good. Right. So, first of all, thanks very much for doing this interview.
Pleasure.
So, you're a classically trained chef, right?
That's right.
You've done a bit of travelling in your time.
Yeah.
What inspired you to become a chef?
Oh, the creativity of it. I started out as a carpenter first when I was 14 or 15. That was my first job. I just liked the act of taking a raw ingredient and using your craft and your skill and then producing something that you could actually gift or give to somebody. So my carpentry career lasted about 3 months. I couldn't see myself lifting rafters on a roof for long periods of time, so that's how I started cooking. Started cooking at home first, and I just loved the fact that you could take raw ingredients and apply a skill to it and give it to somebody or enjoy it yourself. So the inspiration kind of grew over years. At the start, I left school early. I left school at 15, so my options were limited. So it was either carpentry, plumbing, sparky, chefing. So yeah, that's kind of how it
Why did
started.
you leave school at that age?
I didn't enjoy school. I enjoyed school for the sport and for seeing all my friends and all that all the time, but I didn't like being in the classroom. I wasn't suitable, I think, for the traditional schooling system. I didn't enjoy it, basically. Like, I wasn't interested in all these subjects back then.
Yeah.
I was more into sport, playing music and cooking. Like my woodwork teacher wouldn't let me do home economics at school.
Why not?
He thought I was doing it for a bit of fun and hang out with the girls, and that's what I was doing it for. Like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? So I just didn't like it. I rebelled a bit. I had my eyebrows pierced, I had bleached hair, I played in a band, and a little bit of a rebellious, you could say, back then.
Okay.
So yeah, I was more or less told to leave school at 15, so that gave me that extra determination and that extra strength I needed to make a career out of chefing.
And what was the first, at 15 years of age, what were you doing first? Probably cleaning pots and pans somewhere, were you?
Absolutely, yeah. Pot washer, dish pig at the Skeffington Arms in Galway. Still there. I was in there the other day, actually, looking back. Just sat outside looking at it, drinking a coffee, thinking, well, 25 years later, like it's amazing to look back and to where my whole journey started. So I worked as a kitchen porter there, washing pots and pans to get experience, to get into culinary college. Because I didn't have a leaving cert, I wouldn't get in with no leaving cert. So I went in and I just peeled potatoes, washed dishes, peeled vegetables, did that for 6 months, and then got myself into the GMIT in Galway, into the culinary college there.
And then what was the progression then from cleaning? Because I saw on your website you did an apprenticeship with Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
What's the story there?
I started that when I was about 21. So backtrack to about 16. I went to culinary college in Galway. I asked my career guidance teacher there to place me in somewhere good. I didn't want to go to some crappy hotel and just like be frying chips and burgers and all that. So they sent me to a Malaysian chef out in Clifton in Connemara. I was about 16 when I started working there, and that's when I was first inspired by food. He had the lemongrass and the galangal and all these like turmeric and all these things I'd never seen. This is in Ireland in 1998, So I was completely inspired by that. He became my mentor and a great friend to this day. So that was you could say my first apprenticeship really with him. And I actually went out to Kuala Lumpur, traveled around Malaysia with him when I was 18. So that gave me a whole taste of Southeast Asian cuisine and lifestyle. So it was when I was 21, I started a scholarship with Gordon. I did that for 5 years in England.
What's he like as a person? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Is he the showman? Is he the same off camera as he is on camera?
He puts it on a bit for the camera, of course. You know, he plays it up a little bit, a few extra curses and that thrown in, and a bit of controversy. It gets the viewing ratings up. But he's a great guy. He's got thousands of chefs working for him all over the world. He wouldn't have built that empire without being a great leader, a great mentor, a great chef, a great businessman. So I have a huge amount of respect for what he's achieved, coming from, he built his empire with hard work.
Let's talk about what it's like working in a kitchen, like in these really world-class restaurants.
Yeah.
So it looks. I've heard it's fast-paced. You see obviously the episodes with Gordon Ramsay, the series that he's done where he's shouting at people.
Yeah.
What's it like? Because I hear stories. I have a friend who's a chef, and he says there's a lot of bullying that goes on. There's a lot of fights that go on, and people are playing practical jokes on each other. And other people are like heating up pots and pans till they're red hot, and then people are picking them up. Yeah,
cowboys. I've seen it all. Yeah. So these kitchens, they're intense. The high-level kitchens. They're intense environments. Your adrenaline is running on a really high level. In Michelin-starred kitchens, like in Gordon Ramsay, and I worked at the French Laundry in California when I was 25. It was the #1 restaurant in the world at the time. So working in these kind of kitchens, it's intense. It's hard to describe exactly what it's like, but the energy there, the attention to detail, the level of excellence, the level of professionalism, that you have to keep them standards so high day in, day out. It keeps you on your edge, keeps you on your toes, keeps you focused. You can't go out drinking the night before and coming into work hungover, so it keeps you focused.
What are the hours like?
The hours in America, when I worked in California, they were good hours. They're like 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours a day, which is good.
Why is that good?
Because before that I was up on 15, 16, 18 hours a day. My record was 126 hours in 1 week.
Jesus Christ.
I opened an Irish bar in Connecticut, Hartford, Connecticut. I was 7 days a week from 5 a.m. till 1 a.m. for 3 months solid to get it up and running. I was only about 22 at the time.
So you were going on 4 hours sleep?
Yeah, for 3 months.
How did you survive doing that?
Just keep going. I have that kind of personality. I just keep going. I don't give up, whether it's stubbornness or whether it's that will to just keep going. I think we have that Irish work ethic, that mentality, whether just to keep going, never give up. When I take on a project, I take on a job, I fulfill the brief, I do whatever it takes. And it's not about counting the hours and looking at my overtime and all that. I trained in Michael Caine's kitchen in Gidley Park when I was 19, 20, 21 years old. And we got enough money to survive, we got enough money to live on, our rent was paid, but it was working to learn, not to earn. It was the knowledge we were getting back then. And working in these Michelin-starred kitchens, you can't learn that stuff by looking at a YouTube video or by reading in a book. You got to get in there, you got to get in at 6 o'clock in the morning and work till 11 or 12 o'clock at night and do the graft and work them hard services and support your team members and show up on time. And if you're hungover, you still come to work. And you sweat it out here. So it's really good training. I see training in these elite restaurants, it's almost like professional athlete training. They're long hours, they're not very well paid, but you learn you get paid in knowledge, and that stays in there.
What about burnout though? How can you keep that pace up for 10, 20, 30 years? Is it possible?
No, that's why I'm pacing myself. I burnt out twice in my career. I don't plan to do it again. I've done it twice, and burnouts are okay, as long as it's not too serious. Burnout for me is a sign of, right, okay, I need to slow down, I need to change my priorities, and that's what brought me to Thailand, my first burnout, 2014.
Talk us through that burnout. What was going on?
Well, I'd come back from working in the best restaurant in the world in California. I'd done a year and a half there, came back to the UK, and took on my first executive chef job in a luxury hotel. So I was working in this hotel for well over 2 years. And when you work in the best restaurants in the world, you're not going to let your standards down. You want to keep that standard up. But when you work in another hotel, another restaurant where you don't have them resources and you don't have that team that you had before, you have to grow that team, you have to build them, you have to train them. So I worked on that for several years, building up a team and, you know, getting them up to strength and getting our restaurant up to a high reputation. I got our restaurant in the Cotswolds up to the top 10% of restaurants in the UK. I was only about just gone 30 years old, but that took 100 hours a week to do that. You know, that took a lot of hard graft to get up there. So back then I was cooking for awards, I was cooking for accolades, I was cooking for recognition, I was cooking for Michelin star inspectors, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I was burning out, you know, I was sacrificing my health, my time off, time with my friends, time with my family. So burnout came, and then I'm like, okay, I need to reevaluate my life decisions, where I'm going, what I'm doing, why am I cooking this fancy Michelin star food? So I went off to Thailand for 6 weeks. I went up to Chiang Mai and up to Pai, and I signed up for a Muay Thai camp as a way to chill out and relax. So a combination of Muay Thai, and then when I couldn't really walk very well after, when every bone in your body is aching after 3 or 4 weeks of Muay Thai, I saw a sign for a yoga retreat. Never done yoga in my life before. Coming from Ireland, it's not part of our culture here. Yoga hasn't got a great stigma attached to it, but I did it, and it was life-changing. What I learned on that yoga retreat, in combination with the Muay Thai training, and just the whole feeling of the Thai culture and the more relaxed lifestyle, and not pushing and not like competing and everything. It's just a lot of synchronicities happened throughout that time. And then when I came back to England after that, I gave up cooking for awards, accolades, recognition, Michelin stars, gave all that up and started cooking for health. And that was 8 or 9 years ago.
And then what was the move over from, I mean, I know you move around, but Thailand is kind of like a base, talk that move from, say, England to Thailand?
Yeah, so initially I went out for a 6-week term, just as a kind of like, I burnt out, I needed a break, I needed to get away. And Thailand, I'd been out to Malaysia before, my head chef, many years ago. So I just liked, I liked the idea of going to Thailand. It just appealed to me. I was drawn there. And Muay Thai, I wanted to get fit. I was, smoking, drinking, overweight, typical chef lifestyle. So I needed to get back into shape. So the Muay Thai is what brought me out there as well. So I did my 6 weeks out there. I was living in the UK at the time. So then when I came back, I was all set up there and everything. But I spent another 5 or 6 years in England. I don't know, about 3 or 4 years in England after that. I started up what's called the Holistic Chef. I branded myself as Holistic Chef. No business plan, no long-term goals. Just I wanted to put cooking, food for nutrition to the forefront of what I'm doing. I left all animal products out of the equation and started cooking plant-based food, vegan food, vegetarian food, Ayurvedic Indian food, macrobiotic style food. And for me, it was a learning curve. It was great. It was like I was starting out all over again. I left all the animal products out of the equation, where some chefs think that's limiting or like boring, but I saw it quite the opposite. I just saw, it's like I was like a kid in a sweet shop again. I was researching new cuisines and new techniques and new recipes and so on. So I did about 3 years of that all around England in cookery schools, doing little bits of consultancy, private chefing, all kind of self-employed, creative kind of thing, just finding out different people to partner with, and one job led to another, led to another, led to another. And then I was kind of the go-to person in the UK for vegan food and raw food. And through a contact, then I got invited out to Thanyapura in Phuket, 2018. They invited me out for
Tell people what Thanyapura?
Thanyapura is a sporting paradise in the middle of Phuket Island, surrounded by national park. It's got Olympic-sized pools, it's got football pitch, it's got running tracks, it's got yoga studio. It's like this sporting paradise in the middle of the jungle in Phuket. We got Olympic teams from all over the world would come and train there. So I went out there as a guest chef for 1 month to train the Thai chefs how to cook vegan food. Because a lot of the athletes going there wanted to eat vegan food, and it's not in Thai culture. Like, what's vegan? There isn't even a word.
What was it like working with the Thai chefs compared to, say, you know, Western chefs?
Oh, so different, but so good. It was what I needed. You know, Gordon Ramsay wouldn't last 10 minutes in Thailand.
Why not?
The way he talks to them, you know, the way he's so direct, so upfront, a bit confrontational. You know, the local chefs would be like, well, they'd find him funny, but they wouldn't. I don't think they'd get that mentality. So for me going to Thailand, at first it was a 1-month project, but it turned in, I was director of culinary development there for 3 years, and I had a team of 60 chefs, and I had over 100 people in my department, all Thai, that I was responsible for. I was their leader, I was their mentor. And in a way, they were my mentors as well, because we worked together. I wasn't there to change them. You know, I was learning from them, learning their ways, learning their culture, learning their tradition, how to get things done. I don't go into the kitchen shouting and saying, this is what we got to do, this is our menu. Got to sit down with them, we have a meeting, we talk about it, we discuss it, we talk about the challenges, we talk about the opportunities, everyone has an input, we make a plan together, we map it out, we go and do it. And it was a new approach for me, you know, and like just slowing down, being more patient.
I want to just talk about Thai food for a second, right? So, you know, I spent 12 years in Thailand, right? So I've come back to Ireland, and the biggest, most surprising thing is I'm very impressed with the Irish food over here, the quality of the food, right? In Thailand, you know, I'd have milk in my fridge for 2 weeks and it wouldn't go sour. You know, I'd have chicken in the fridge and I'm like, that chicken hasn't gone off yet, like what's the story? Over in Ireland, 3-4 days, milk sour, the chicken is gone after, you know, at that sell-by date, it's gone. And then it got me thinking, there must be loads of chemicals in the Thai food over there.
It's hard to get organic food in Thailand. I built up a few, at Thanya Pura we had an organic garden up in Khao Sok that I worked with. And you have to really, it's like a treasure hunt finding good organic places, because it's a little more expensive and the demand isn't there for it. Yet, but it is growing. So it is harder. There is a lot of chemicals, and not just Thailand, but all of Southeast Asia, like India and everything. Like it's sad the way it's going, because the farmers then have to buy these chemicals, which cost a lot of money, and then they become reliant upon using them to get a strong yield. But if they go to organic practices and convert their land into organic growing, and work more with the climates, the microclimates, they can have a bigger yield, but it takes more education and it takes a little bit more government support as well. So yeah, Thailand, it is hard to get organic. It's there, but you just have to.
Do you think they're putting stuff into the milk?
I haven't drank milk in about 7 years, 8 years, man. I don't know what they're putting in milk. I'm drinking coconut milk in Thailand. Like, why are you drinking cow's milk in Thailand, bro? Coconuts are everywhere.
So are you still cooking meat now, or are you only cooking
I haven't cooked meat in years. Some of my clients over the last few years, I always give guests what they want. I never tell a guest at a dinner party like what they should and should not eat. So if I'm cooking a dinner party for private guests and clients, like mainly they hire me because I cook healthy food and I cook more plant-based. But if a guest wants some food, like with a Brazilian client recently, and she wanted I cooked a Brazilian, I can't pronounce it, a ferragula or something. So I cook it an odd time, I don't taste it. Sometimes I taste it, but I spit it out again. I just can't, which is strange, because I used to be a butcher and a fishmonger, and now...
So you can't even like put it in your mouth at all now?
I can if I want, but I don't want it. The desire is gone.
Have you ever accidentally eaten a bit of meat and been like, oh, what have I done?
No, because I wouldn't be cooking it. I wouldn't order it either. So no. So using...
You haven't told us who Tara is.
Oh yes, Thara, my lovely, gorgeous girlfriend from Thailand.
What's the story there? What are you doing together?
So I finished at Thanya Pura kind of just towards the end of lockdowns. The hospitality industry in Thailand suffered a lot. So that business went down. So we started up our own company. We started off as a falafel stand in the jungle, a little street food falafel stand. Then we evolved it. We rented out a production unit and we set up a ghost kitchen in the jungle. Ghost kitchen is a kitchen that people don't see. It's out in the jungle, and we take the food to your house. So it was ideal coming out of lockdown. We did all healthy, plant-based menus and meal plans. So we do week-long and month-long programs. So we provide breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, juice, fruit, everything, and deliver to people's house between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. in the morning. So we ran that business for a year with clients all over Phuket and ran a great business there. It was really good. But then the island started to get busier. countries opened up, so we evolved our business then into consultancy. So now we work with international resorts, health and wellness resorts, and instead of us cooking and serving the meal programs, we teach the in-house chefs how to do that for their clients and for their guests.
What are your future plans? You plan to move to stay in Thailand permanently, or is there a move? You moving around, or what's the plan?
We got a good base in Thailand. Thailand's, I find, a very good place to do business. There's loads of great opportunities there, and the health and wellness industry is booming out there now. So it's a really good base to have there. And I love the country, I love the place, I love the people. So we're going to keep a core part of our business there long term. But I also love Ireland, love this country, and I see lots of great opportunities here. So I think we'll be having best of both worlds and combining Thara's knowledge. Thara grew up in Maha Sarakam, and she grew up in a restaurant, and Thai cooking is in her blood. She knows it, she understands it, she was brought up with it. And then my culinary background as well. And when you put them two together, we've got a beautiful cuisine that we're kind of, we have a Thai vegan cuisine. So we've taken all the Thai classics and veganized them and cleaned them up a little bit. And we're also working on a Thairish style cuisine where we take Irish ingredients, good old Irish spuds, put them in a massaman curry. You got the best of both worlds there.
What do you like about living in Thailand?
So much. I love it. Like the nature, the people, the culture, the history, the food. It's a huge world to explore there. I'm there 5 years, but I still feel like there's so much to explore.
How would you describe your personality?
How would you describe it? I don't know.
I'd say after meeting you, right, you're quiet at the start, but you are like one of these guys that's just like super locked in.
I listen more than I talk. And like in Thailand, I learned to meditate a lot more. I study a little bit of Buddhism there, which is a big part of Thai culture. You know, I have spent time in all the touristy areas, but I like to go where all the locals go and learn about Thailand through Buddhism and through meditation and through their old cultures and customs and that. And I listen more than I talk. If I have something to say, and someone asks me a question, I'll answer it to the best of my ability. But generally, I like listening and observing. Because I learn more when I'm out and about. I prefer asking questions about other people's lives or business or whatever, because I can learn. I can learn more. If I'm always talking about myself, like, what good is I going to do? You know.
I can't see you being in the kitchen shouting at people.
You should have seen me 10 years ago, pure Gordon Ramsay style. Like I used to make waitresses and chefs cry. I used to have chefs walking out before my. What would you say? I wouldn't call it a midlife crisis, but before my burnout, I didn't like the person I was becoming. I was angry, I was stressed, I was tired, I was, impatient, all the characteristics of being overworked and grasping, craving for accolades and awards and recognition. But, leaving all that behind has been liberating. I don't want fame, I don't want Michelin Stars, I don't want recognition like that. I take fulfillment and joy in just doing what I love doing, cooking, and when it's healthy food, and you serve that healthy food to people, and it tastes good, you're doing them something good, and that for me is better than any award or any accolade or something like that.
So if someone wants to contact you, any content they can...
HolisticChefAcademy.com. So HolisticChefAcademy.com. That's an online blog we started during lockdown. It's like our online shop window. It's a free recipe blog website. We've got lots of free recipes on there. And then you can sign up for the newsletter. We send out a recipe every week and a little bit of small update on where we're doing, what projects are coming up and so on. So jump on there, check out some of the nice Thai vegan recipes. We put on a vegan version of Thai crab curry there recently, gang poo. It's called, using lion's mane mushroom.
I love that word for crab in Thai.
Say head fueling.
So your Thai must be pretty good then, because of the food aspect.
Yeah, that's a Thai dang pla pla. The first word I learned in Thailand was Bangkok. Did you learn it yet?
Krungthep.
Mahanakan.
Mahanakan.
Amon Ratana Kosin.
I said, do you know the long word, do you?
Long word. That was my Thai teacher, my first words. And if I could learn that, I could learn anything.
So what about, say, Kapao, right? So my favourite food in Thailand is Pad Kapao.
Pad Kapao.
Are you...
Pad Kapao, say head, my side.
You're eating the mushroom Pad Kapao, right? No, pork. Moo. Moo.
Say head Roy. Roy McMahon.
Right, we'll leave it there.
Good chat with you, Pete.
Lovely doing this with you, man. Best of luck anyway, and we'll do a part 2 in November. Get in November. Maybe we could do some kind of video where we get you cooking or something.
Yeah, we'll do a massive man.
Yeah,
some massive man.
Or get me how about you in the kitchen giving me a bollocking?
All right.
When I'm messing up because I can't cook.
Okay. We'll do a
We
wrap.
could do something like that in November. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
All right, sound. So
Good chat.
I'll leave Jamie's links in the description. Check out his website and subscribe to our channel. Hit the like button and leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought about it. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.
Cheers. Good health. Long chat.